Hello, this is Mark. I am a Christian. I had a dream about marriage, about me getting married, and the dream started out very negative, and it got very positive. It is about 2:15 a.m. on Wednesday, February 26th, 2020. I was somewhere at a mental institution. I think it was a mental institution. And there was a woman at the mental institution, and I got pushed over or something like there's food there. People were complaining about the food. They were complaining about the food. They were rationing the food or something. And I remember it, but it's hard to describe because it's coming at me at once. And I believe God gave me the dream. It was like a mental institution, and we're having breakfast food, and the food was being rationed. I think we didn't have bacon anymore or something. It was a large group of people, and we're in a cafeteria. And a woman was complaining about me. And it was like a movie. I wasn't really a part of what was going on. It was like I was watching a movie. I mean, I wasn't realizing what was going on. And the woman was complaining that I just stood there. I said, I didn't do anything. I just stood there. And she said, well, you should have done something or something. There's some type of contention. And she was saying that I should have done something. People were pushing me or something. And she was complaining that I was just standing there and got pushed over into something, or I don't know. So then I was walking up. It was like I was walking out of the mental institution, but I didn't realize it. And I was seeing my old friends, and I say friends in quotation marks. I don't have many friends, and I don't want many friends because I've seen the way people are. Like Jesus said, he knew what was in man. And God knows I know what's in man by now. He's shown me. So I was walking up, and the same girl I was complaining about was just squealing with joy. And so it came out that I was marrying her brother or something. I was supposed to be marrying her brother, and it didn't click to me in my dream that was not what men are supposed to do. They're not supposed to marry somebody's brother. And she was just squealing with joy that she was going to be an in-law, and I didn't know what was going on at first, but she was very happy. Saying she's a horrible woman. Blaming me for just standing there. I said I did nothing, I was just standing there. And she was blaming me and accusing me of standing there when there was nothing I could do or nothing I should have done. And then she said, the people were saying he's marrying Mike's brother, and apparently Mike was her brother as well. He was marrying Mike's brother. And I went up and up, and I won't say the person's name, but he was very, I would say he was smug and judgmental. And he was, I would say he's probably, I knew him in real life, probably younger than I. Could probably say younger than I by a year or two or three or four. And he did well in his life, and he and his fiance got married, or he and his fiance got married before I knew them. And he was with another guy who got married to his fiance. His two wives and two husbands, and just judgmental. I think judgmental. And I opened the door as this woman was squealing behind me. And I think he was maybe laying out on a sofa like that with his legs crossed, like laying out besides. And he's told me, he said, "You're not marrying." He said, "Mark," or whatever. He said, "You're not marrying Mike's brother." And I thought, well, why not? And then I realized, oh, Mike's brother is a man. I said, "No, I'm marrying Mike's sister." And it turned out who I was marrying seemed to change during the dream. Not only the sex, but also the woman. I'm marrying Mike's sister. And then and then everybody was in anticipation. She said, "Well, does Mike's sister know you want to marry her?" And so everybody was waiting there. Like I said, "Well, yes." I think I said yes. And I kept going up and up. I remember going up and up. And Mike's sister got there, and she said, they said, "So you're marrying Mark?" And she said, "Yes," with a big smile on her face. And people started celebrating these my enemies, because I have a lot of enemies. My enemies from my college group started celebrating. And there was like a spiral staircase up to the pinnacle of the building. And I went up and up the spiral staircase like in a lighthouse. It looked like a lighthouse. It looked like the top was a lighthouse. And I went up and up until I couldn't go up anymore. And then I saw her, my fiance. And this was not my fiance in real life. She was my fiance in real life. I don't remember exactly what she looked like. I don't know who Mike was. And people were along the staircase, like in little doors, coming out and smiling at me for marrying Mike's sister. And I saw her, and we were going down and down the spiral staircase. Either we're going up or going down or both, and people were coming out of doors and smiling at me and just happy for me and everything. And my enemies would never be happy for me to get married, so it's not exactly realistic in that sense. My enemies would never be happy. They didn't say, "Hey, Mark, we're your enemies" in real life, but they pretty much did say, "Hey, Mark, we're your enemies" in real life. In a way, they said that. So I got married. When I went to the college group, from the mental institution, everybody was upset because they said, you're not marrying. I won't say his name, but he said he was a judgmental guy. one of these people that think everything they do is right, and everything. One of these people who thinks everything he does is right and everything everybody else does is wrong. If you know what I mean, like everything I do is right and everything everybody else does is wrong, unless they're my friend, and then what they do is right. He said, "You're not marrying Mike's sister," and I said, "Well, why not?" I thought, "Well, why not?" I might have said, I probably did say, "Well, why not?" And he just stood there. He just sat there, leaning back with his legs crossed, judgmentally and silently. And I said, "Oh, I'm marrying Mike's sister," And that was the dream. It was beautiful. I was happy at the end. At the beginning, I was frustrated. And by the end, I was happy and satisfied and married. Okay. Thanks for listening. A little bit of a long video. God bless.